you seen this video?
Lucifer wasn't responsible for leading worship. He's not just a fallen angel who was part of God's choir. He was a lawyer who was a member of God's heavenly courts. If you ask most people what Lucifer's job was before he fell, they'll probably say that he was the angel in charge of leading worship. But the thing is, he wasn't. People only speculate that he was because of one verse, Ezekiel 28 verse 13, which mentions that God prepared musical instruments for him on the day that he was created. But apart from that, there's nothing that suggests that he was responsible for leading worship. But there is something else that Lucifer was in charge of. Let me tell you what his job was. His name, Lucifer, comes from two Latin words. The words lux, meaning light, and ferre, meaning to bring. And when you put these two words together, it means light bringer. So according to the meaning of his name, he was supposed to bring light. Or to be more specific, he was supposed to bring things to light. But the question is, what kind of things? Now, when you read the Bible, you'll notice that every time this character appears, he's almost always doing the same thing. In Genesis, he tempted Adam and Eve. In the book of Job, he accused Job. In the book of Zechariah, he tried Joshua, the high priest. And in the Gospels, he even tested Jesus. But you'll also notice that in all of these instances, it doesn't refer to him as Lucifer. He's referred to as Satan or the devil. So does that mean that his name isn't Lucifer? No. His name is Lucifer, but Satan and the devil, on the other hand, are not names. They are titles. In other words, they describe what he does. Just like when you see a pilot and you address them as captain, captain isn't their name, it's a title. Satan or Satan isn't his name. It's a Hebrew word that means prosecutor, which is a legal title. To put it simply, a prosecutor is a lawyer whose job is to uphold the law and to charge people who break it. That's why the devil is skilled at building arguments against us, especially when we disobey what God said, because it was his job. Lucifer wasn't responsible for leading worship. He's not just a fallen angel who was part of God's choir. He was a lawyer who was a member of God's heavenly courts. And not just any lawyer, he was heaven's chief prosecutor. That's why he was held to such high standards. Ezekiel 28 verse 12 says he was the signet of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. And verse 15 mentions that he was blameless when he was created. Why? Because his job demanded that he be beyond reproach, especially since it was his job to bring to light the sins of others and prosecute them before God.